Hello guys, today I'll be heading down to Atlanta, Georgia on Delta Airlines A320 in economy, so time to head to the airport. Dulles International Airport, one of the few proper international airports in this country, in my honest opinion. It's so weird coming here though, because I feel like every time I come to Dulles, I'm always flying international, and now I'm flying Delta and domestic at Dulles. Very weird. I'm already checked in, but I'm gonna do my proper boarding pass thing here. Last time I flew out of here was going to Warsaw, but on British Airways from London. And after that, I've only seen this airport through editing my mom's videos, the Jazz Mom. Unfortunately, with this new channel change I just did, I think I have to retire the Jazz Mom. She is still going to be flying like pretty soon herself back to Poland, but her filming's just not the best, let's be honest. But it was a good run with the Jazz Mom.
It was certainly extremely strange flying from IAD domestically, especially because Delta departs from the international concourse here. After stopping by the counters and heading down here to security, it was time to head over there via Dulles' Aerotrain.
So this is recorded in September 2021. International travel is still not back. Domestic travel, yes, but international, obviously not. There's a few international planes like Scandinavian and an Ethiopian plane, but I've never seen the international part of Dulles this empty before.
What's interesting about this terminal though, and really the airport in general, is Dulles' other domestic carriers that aren't named United fly from this cool concourse. But IAD's hub airline, besides United Express, flies from the adjacent parallel old pathetic and supposedly temporary terminal. So the experience today for me so far is really good, because Delta flies from this one, specifically gate B74 today.
The ride today is N317US, which I just found out is an over 30-year-old A320. I mean, that's like around the age that the MD-88s and 90s were retired, so officially it's 30.5 years old. First delivered to Northwest in June of 1991. Wow. It's sad though, because some of the MD-88s and MD-90s were younger than this A320 right here. I wish I could fly the MD-88 again. I think B74 was the exact gate that the last MD-88 departed from here at Dulles down to Atlanta. I think this was the exact gate.
Each one of our passenger has to carry one bag plus your small personal item total of 2 pieces.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
You want to check that bag?
No, if it's possible.
Okay.
As you can tell, the flight today down to Atlanta is gonna be nearly packed to capacity. Somehow though, my seat 23F ended up with an empty seat next to it. So good for me. Typical with Delta in those days, they handed everybody a hand sanitizing wipe. Moving into my economy seat for the quick flight down to Georgia, it looks very typical of Delta in terms of comfort, design, color scheme, and accessories. The only thing really out of the ordinary a bit on the A320 is the legroom, which does feel tight, especially for 6-foot me. The safety card is located ahead in the large seat back pocket. Above that is the tray table, and then yes, a personal touchscreen monitor, which has a USB port and headphone jack underneath. As far as in-seat power is concerned, there are also universal power outlets under the seats. All in all, if I didn't look this plane up beforehand, the retrofit definitely makes it seem like a fairly modern plane. Delta really did a good job in hiding the age, at least in the cabin, with the overhead bins even being quite large. After that Ethiopian 777 passed on by, it was time for us to start our pushback for Atlanta.
Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
And thanks for flying with us.
Flight time to Hotlanta will be 1 hour and 11 minutes, just enough time for flight attendants to do a quick drink and snack service through this packed cabin. While my seatmate and I await their arrival to our row, I decided to check out the drink menu on the monitor in front. Delta offers an array of sodas, juices, mixers, and of course, hot coffee and tea, the coffee being Starbucks. Nothing really out of the ordinary when it comes to these tray tables. They are average sized with a single cup groove and extendable. Once the FA got to our row, she handed us some Biscoff cookies, and I ordered a hot coffee this time instead of tea. A small minor detail about Biscoff cookies on Delta, the airline name is engraved onto the snack, while every other airline it is not, whether you care for that stuff or not. What was especially cool for me on this flight is that we happened to pass directly by the Smoky Mountains in western North Carolina, along with Asheville and Brevard. This last place, I actually happened to spend a whole summer here at the Brevard Music Festival in 2019, where I played concerts all summer. If you look back at my channel, you'll probably find some of those videos from the trip. But it was extremely cool to see that from the air, as I had walked those streets and hills many times. Thoroughly enjoyed that summer there. Passing by Asheville means we're getting very close to the Georgia border, and before we start descending, I think I owe you guys a quick look at Delta's IFE system on this 30-plus-year-old A320. How does it stack up to their newer fleet? Well, a very short answer actually, quite well, because it basically is what you'd find on any Delta plane. To start, you can look up some facts about the plane you're currently flying, where in my case, you'd quickly find out how old this A320 is. At the top of the home screen, flight time remaining will always be present, with various tabs on the left side that bring you to a flight map, movies, TV shows, live TV, music, and more. Unfortunately for today though, it seemed the TV channels weren't quite working.
Not sure why that doesn't
As the flight attendants were continuing to interrupt me on this tour, I will finish it up very fast. Games and even Spotify playlists are also found on here, plus a whole kids section. And if someone were to have a need for Wi-Fi, that can be accessed, of course, on personal mobile devices. The free entertainment should also be found on any device, but I always find Delta's personal seatback monitors to work extremely well with their full content collection, so would highly recommend just tapping the screen in front of you. You'll get a much better entertainment experience. And with that, we are gliding by Georgia's famous Stone Mountain, northeast of Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, which always promises for excellent views of downtown Atlanta on final approach. The world's busiest airport once again. I will actually be having a fairly long connection here as I continue back to California, but as far as this flight is concerned, I really have to commend Delta on what they've done inside this cabin. Obviously, legroom isn't the greatest, and like I said, is kind of unlike Delta, but for a little over an hour in the air and an empty seat next to me, I very much enjoyed this flight, and just from my past experiences on similarly aged aircraft such as the MD-88, MD-90, and 717s, the A320 is much more passenger friendly. Emphasis on passenger, not avgeek.
Thank you, you too. Great flight with Delta today. Definitely helps to have an empty middle seat. Okay, welcome to hot Atlanta. Even during the pandemic, a very busy airport, and now more busy than ever. I'll now be heading back over to San Francisco on a Delta 767-300, also in economy. As far as the A320 though, Delta definitely has renovated their A320s, and for a 30-plus-year-old plane, it looked pretty nice. Not as nice as their A319s, as they're a little bit newer, but for such an old aircraft, runs very well and feels very nice. Anyway, thanks guys for watching this Delta A320 trip report, or travel vlog as I call it, and thank you guys for watching, and catch you on the next one.